Right, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Thank you all so much for being here today and sharing the space with us all. I know it is your lunch hour, but it is a valuable time for the community to come together, um, and share resources, share um, ways that we can affect and impact our community for the better. So thank you all so much for being here today. Um, so without further ado, I will get started. Just give me one moment if you don't mind. Today we have Sandra Machado here from the Survivor Restoration Program from the San Francisco Sheriff's Office, who will be speaking with us today. So very excited about that. I'm going to give a little bio about her and then I'm going to pass it off to her. Um, so Sandra attended college at Notre Dame de Namur. I hope I said that right. University in Belmont. It was there that she discovered her passion for helping others. She began her journey with Community Works West in the San Francisco Sheriff's Office in 2015. She currently works with survivors of domestic violence and crisis. Sandra guides them and their families through the process and challenges to achieve normalcy and peace in their life. For fun, she enjoys spending time with her 2-year-old pup, Charlie, who I have had the privilege to meet, um, which is amazing. Without further ado, I'll pass it off to Sandra.
All right, guys, how are you doing today? My name is Sandra, and I'm from the Survivor Restoration Program at the Sheriff's Office. And let's see, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting in here. I'm not sure if I'm shared or not. All right, how's that working?
We cannot see. You are co-host, though.
Okay. Huh, I was a little.
It
Let's
says
try it,
started screen sharing, but it's
but it's
blank,
not on
unfortunately.
here. Okay, well, let's see here. Now, if I could just read that, that would be great. It's really small. All right, let's try this. Can you see me now?
Unfortunately not.
Oh,
Um,
Can
my
you go out
apologies.
and then try it again?
yeah. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, let me know if you guys can see me at any time so I can stop trying to do this.
Yeah, we are not able to see it, Andrea. Can you possibly pull up her backup slides? Please.
Yeah, totally. I got you. No worries. I just want to make sure that I can do full screen mode. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, everyone, for the technical difficulties. We'll
Andrea, if
get
you can
right.
unshare, take your
Um,
shared screen down so Andrea can possibly pull up your slides, please.
Here we go. Let's see. Is everyone able to see
Yes, but
so
if you
far?
do full screen,
Yes.
thank you.
Is this working for everyone?
It's
All right.
not full screen.
No.
You might need to enlarge your window because it looks minimized. Thank you all for sticking with us through this. There we go.
All right. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Sandra Machado. I work with the Survivor Restoration Program of the San Francisco Sheriff's Office. All of our work is under Community Works West. So I'm just going to go into Community Works and what they are all about before I go into the Survivor Restoration Program and what we do for the community. Okay, next slide. Okay, so who is Community Works West? Community Works West, or CWW, is an organization that works with victims, youth, and survivors of domestic violence. The organization is a pathway for previously and currently incarcerated individuals and their families to establish a healthy and safe environment to aid them in their restorative journey. Okay, our mission is Community Works seeks to transform justice through programs and policies rooted in humanity and healing. We honor the lived experiences of survivors, incarcerated individuals, and their communities. Our programs are culturally responsive, trauma-informed, and rooted in restorative justice and the arts. Our services are designed to meet the needs of people at any stage of justice system involvement and include four key areas. We have youth power programs. We have the Survivor Restoration Program, which I'm going to go ahead and focus a little bit more on, the Survivor Empowerment Program, and the Resolve to Stop the Violence Program. So starting with the youth programs, Community Works has a program, Project What? Now, what stands for We're Here and Talking. Project What is an advocacy program in the Bay Area, and it serves the youth of ages 12 to 17 who've had or currently has an incarcerated parent. It offers a safe space that builds a community for children of incarcerated parents and empowering them to use their voice, their pride, and power to help break the cycle of violence as they journey into adulthood. Now, the program provides education, understanding, and the opportunities to heal from traumatic experiences by sharing their stories through discussion and therapy and arts. The Restorative Justice Diversion Program, or known as RJD, is a program that provides an alternative to incarceration for youth and adults up to 25 years old who have been arrested for high misdemeanors and felonies. Through RJD, we bring together everyone who was impacted in the crime in order to address the harm caused and come up with a reconciliation plan. Now, this plan includes youth responsible for the harm, the victims or the person harmed, the youth's family, supporters, law enforcement, teachers, or community members who were impacted. Now, together, the group develops an accountability plan for the youth to repair the harm they caused and sets a timeline for the plan completion. So now this plan is under the district attorney's office. If the district attorney agrees not to file charges upon completion of this plan. So meeting the young person successfully diverted from formal incarceration in the justice system. Youth and theater program. Youth and theater. Theater is a big part of showing feelings, expressing. So the youth theater programs are for high school students in the San Francisco who have an incarcerated parent. Now, using theater as a medium, we help our students give voice to their difficult experiences and process the trauma that comes with having an incarcerated parent. The Community Works Theater Arts elective is a 4-credit elective course which accumulates in the original play developed by the students. The Community Works Youth Theater Ensemble provides the same opportunities in a more intense and long-term summer and after-school environment. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more into the program that I'm in, and that's the Survivor Restoration Program of the San Francisco Sheriff's Office. Now, the Survivor Restoration Program provides crisis, case management, advocacy, and referrals for survivors of domestic violence after receiving referrals from the Sheriff's Office and community partners. Our crisis case manager, who is me, is the first to assist to the survivor after the situation has occurred, working closely with appropriate community agencies and organizations. We help the survivor by obtaining immediate shelter or emergency hotel vouchers. We offer court support and help in navigating the judicial system, which can be family, criminal, or civil. We help obtain a restraining order through CROC. We also aid in safety planning and what to do if. Now, that's a question that comes up and it's very, it's very wide. What to do if the offender comes to my work? What to do if shows up at my child's school and there's a restraining order? Those are all questions that come up. And for that, we offer a safety planning with the survivor to make sure everything and everyone are safe in that situation. Let's see here. Our organization also works closely with CPS, and we kind of serve as a liaison to CPS. We help walk the survivor through the process. That's if CPS is involved. And the process of CPS can be very confusing. So you need someone there that knows how it works. And that is when collaboration is key. So we collaborate and include the district attorney's office victim services, the Cooperative Restraining Order Clinic or CROC, the Domestic Violence Consortium, community nonprofits, law enforcement agencies, lawyers, hospitals, housing agencies, and other organizations throughout the community. Sometimes we work outside of the community and we connect with organizations there. Okay, the Survivor Empowerment Program is also a program that's under the Sheriff's Office. The program provides services to survivors of domestic violence to regain control of their life and well-being. It focuses on a 12-week curriculum, healing circles through art and case management. And it helps the survivor return to a life of peace by providing them with the essential information needed to live a safe, healthy, and productive life. Now, the Survivor in Custody Reentry Program. The Survivor in Custody Reentry Program and the Crisis Case Manager work very, very closely. And it's very similar, except that it's in custody. So SERP, as we call it, the case manager works with incarcerated survivors of domestic violence and refers to the individual to domestic violence resources prior to them exiting custody. Survivors are provided with a needs assessment, safety planning, domestic violence support groups, and connects the client to other programs, to other restoration in the community. SERP also collaborates with the in-custody post-release programs to provide clients with a reentry plan in participation for these releases. Now, when the survivor is arrested, they get released with no charges. There's always, most of the time, a temporary restraining order, a TRO, that impedes them for going back home, that impedes them for, from being around the house, getting all their stuff, getting into the home. So in times like that, we have a great collaboration with San Francisco Police Department. And what we do is a civil standby, which is the survivor can go into the home, get, whatever it is that they need, what's needed, and it keeps them away from going back into the home or violating that restraining order moving forward. Within the jail system, we do have a program, and it's Resolve to Stop the Violence Project, better known as RSVP. Now, the Resolve to Stop the Violence Project is a program for individuals who are incarcerated in the San Francisco County jails. The program helps participants develop awareness and take accountability for their actions. Now, this program guides them into making amends with those that they have harmed, with themselves, and paving a path for positive change and a new beginning upon their release to the community. This is a very essential program to the entire organization of Community Works and the Sheriff's Department. These are men who have been incarcerated for domestic violence, being that per se, they don't have the education. They don't come from a family that has that normal, quote unquote, life, right? They have seen, let's see, they have seen women getting violated. They have seen women in their family getting violated. So that's really all that they know. That's what is acceptable. So the program offers them a look into a different picture, and it gives the it gives the offender a different light and a better understanding of what respect is. The Resolve to Stop the Violence project also utilizes survivors to come in and speak to the pod in the jail and share their story. Now, these individuals can be the person who offended, it can be a family member, it could be a survivor themselves. Speakers share their story, which is often a part of their healing process. The presentations promote participants' empathy by providing inmates with insights into how violence affects the victim, their survivors, and his or her family, friends, neighbors, the offender's family, and the entire community as a whole. These speakers speak from the heart and just sharing their experience and what they have been through. These are men, women that come in and speak about what their offenses were, and they are very open and sincere and honest about what's going on. That is what working from the inside gives, the program allows that for them to share their story, and that is a process that helps them heal and return back into society. Now, I want everyone to know, and this is very important, that there is a way out. The programs offered by Community Works and the San Francisco Sheriff's Office gives alternative choices and opportunities to those who think that they don't have any. It allows our youth to find healing and understanding that they have choices other than violence. It gives survivors strength by knowing that they are not alone, that there is a community who cares and helps them and their family as well, being and will carry them through the process to freedom. It helps show our survivors that there is a path to healing by empowering them to break free from the violence that they have gone through, to live a life that does not involve fear, pain, and the feeling that there is no hope and that happiness does not exist. It helps offenders take accountability for the harm that they've caused and shows them that there is a different path that does not involve violence. Now, all of these programs come together as a whole, and that is starting with the survivor. When the incident occurs, they don't know what's going on, what to do. So that is how we help. We come in and just show them exactly what to do. We work with organizations throughout the community to get them to where they need to be, and that's the importance. Inside of the jail, The survivor is healing and working through the process. Inside of the jail, you have the offender in the survivor restoration program to teach them and let them know the harm that they have caused and that it is not okay, that there is a different route to take, and they are shown the different route and given options of what to do in situations that they feel they can't get out of. So with that said, coming to a conclusion and closing it up, these are programs working closely with Community Works West and the Sheriff's Office that really help. They make a difference in our lives, in society, families, and communities. So we would like to see them continue, and we would like to be a part of the community to be a whole, just like we are with the community, and we should work together to stop the violence. Okay. Any questions?
We don't have to be scared. Um, I do have a couple questions. For the Resolve to Stop the Violence program, um, can people that are imprisoned in the system, is it like a volunteer program for them? Just some clarification on that.
For offenders that have come out of prison?
For offenders that are currently in prison, right? Correct, or incarcerated.
So offenders who are out of programs, out of prison, do come back and share their story. And that's the survivor impact. They share their story, how it happened, and how their life changed when they entered programs or, learned a different way of life. A lot of them, get religious and say religion changed their life, and now they look at it in a different way, and that's why they want to help others and, share their experience and how they did it.
Do we have there is a question in the chat asking
I
if
was actually getting ready to answer for, we don't provide slides to people. There will be a rebroadcast of this where you will have access to the link to rewatch it. It's posted on YouTube.
I know that you did want to talk about something close to your heart about survivors being um, seen as the perpetrator. Did you want to touch on that?
Yeah, I want to, inform and just share, what I've seen. And in the past year, I have seen a lot more survivors being arrested. Now, they get released without any charges. They get arrested, they figure out that the story that they believed happened didn't happen, and there you go, no charges. Sometimes they get released, at night, they have nowhere to go because now there is a restraining order against them. And, it makes it really difficult for the survivor, especially after going through what they just went through and then being in a jail, right? I had a survivor once where I went to visit her in the jail and she was covered in bruises, yet she's the one who got arrested. When I went into the jail, the deputies had taken her cot out because she was so scared that she was shaking and couldn't breathe inside of the cell. And it was about a day and a half until she was able to go home. So those are stories that really, impact me emotionally. And, I would like to see that change. And, it is coming. We have spoken to the police department, and they do have trainings coming up that will definitely help that. So as a community, myself, I will go into, meetings. Pam and I sit in meetings together and we talk. That's a hot topic, so we talk about that more trainings should be happening. And hopefully they go through with it and they do happen because we are seeing it more and more. And it's not okay.
Thank you for lifting that, Sandra. I know pretty soon we should have another SVU hearing where we will be addressing and just kind of measuring and looking to see has it improved. But we already know of at least two cases that have happened since then. One regarding a mother who was arrested and was nursing, and people spent the whole weekend trying to make sure that she was able to express milk for it to get back home to her
Mhm.
child. So it is not happening every day, but when it's happening, it's pretty heinous. And I'm glad that people are lifting it up for people to kind of review and start addressing it. I had a question. Part of my 40-hour DV training prior to COVID was we would, if they completed the 40-hour, we used to be able to go to the pod and actually witness victim impact
Mhm.
statements and kind of sit with RSVP. And I'm wondering, one, I know they're still doing the survivor impacts, but will they be offering that open to people who are currently DV advocates or working in the system? And I know there's all kinds of regulations and things that are happening as a result of trying to keep people safe with COVID, but just wondering if they are going to revisit the program or remove it completely.
The program is still going. It happens, pre-COVID, it would be once a week, we would have a survivor go in or, a family member go in and share their story. With COVID, that kind of came to a halt and it's starting to pick up again. So now we have someone go in, I believe last time, I heard, and I could be completely wrong, but it was once every 2 weeks. We will have a survivor go in and share their story. Now, as far as, being an advocate to go in and experience that, it is possible with, of course, the sheriff's
Yeah.
regulations. You would have to get cleared. Speak to Delia. I don't think she's
Delia
here
was
today,
who, well,
but
she's not. That's who used to
yeah,
take us in.
Delia Janorio. And she would walk you through the process of getting cleared and being able to go into the jail. If anyone has the opportunity, I definitely, suggest and put it out there. Go and take a look. The program works
Yep, it's impressive.
yeah, the program works and the people who really experience another person's story, it makes an impact and that you can come back and share with your community, with your programs.
Thank you. I will follow up with Delia. I appreciate it.
Of course.
There is a hand raised. I see Mia has her hand raised.
Hi, Sandra. Thank you for your presentation. Um, we've had a few clients recently who've um, gone to report violations and found out that their restraining orders either weren't in CLETS or weren't showing up in CLETS. And I'm just wondering if folks on your staff are able to check that. Like, do you have access to the CLETS system to check for survivors to see that it's properly uploaded if someone wanted to double check before a violation occurred?
So we don't have access to CLETS. However, we are very connected to the DA's office, to Croc itself. I've had a situation in the past where they could not find the restraining order. And this is a client whose offender was driving next to her and right behind her, trying to get her off the road. It was a pretty bad case, but they didn't have the restraining order on file. So what I actually, suggest to my offenders and real my survivors, sorry, and really has made a difference is take a picture. Take a picture and carry it with you. If anything happens, then they have that picture right away and they can see. Also, have a phone number of the lawyer or your case manager. As a case manager, I always keep a copy of the restraining order. So if anything happens, you can call and we can go ahead and walk you through the process and help you from there out.
Thank you.
Um, I know that we were touching on, oftentimes the victim being seen as the perpetrator. Is there anything that we can do as a community that can like help bring awareness or to help with the situation? Like it's probably not just a police officer who might think off of first sight that the victim is the perpetrator.
Yeah, a lot of the times the survivors don't voice what's going on, right? And it's on so many levels. It can be fear, um, nowadays more than not, immigration status. Um, so those are, things that definitely hinder, right? If someone who supports you goes to jail, what happens to your family? What happens to, the house? What happens to you when that person gets out? So those are definitely things that go through, a woman's or survivor's mind, right? So I believe education from our community help, handing out all the information that we can, holding circles to be able to speak and let them know, this organization offers this. Anything that can get out into the community and let them know who to turn to for what is a great path to get started.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask a couple of more questions, I guess, around programs that you actually offer to survivors. I know there's a women's program, and that was new for me hearing about the teen program. If you can give a little bit more detail about those, how do we refer people? Um, just a little bit more information about it, please.
So those are directly through Community Works. They have, people who run them, the organizers. And to be in it, it would be best, if you want to contact one of us and then we can redirect you to the organization or the program, we will do that. As far as uh, direct involvement. I would have to get a little more information to be able to let you know exactly, directly what to do. But for now, coming to us, we will definitely get you in contact. They're great programs, especially for, family members, children that have a parent who is incarcerated. They need a space, a safe space to be able to express their feelings. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of children that are born and they have never, their parent has never been around. So, I've seen it in programs inside of the jails where, they come and visit their parent and that's all that they can do. And it's one day out of the week. Sometimes it's one day out of the month. Now you see the difference that that makes with both the parent and the child. So these programs that are offered definitely helps both parties involved. The three parties involved definitely work through and understanding what has happened.
This is so needed. Thank you so much for that. I know I saw something a few months ago where they did like a prom where it was kids got to go and
Mhm.
reunify with their dads for a dance, which I thought was really special. We need more things like that because we
Mhm.
are seeing teens, which kind of segue into repeated cycles of abuse or children who don't have those ideal relationships modeled for them at home, and being able to talk about what they're experiencing can hopefully prevent them from repeating these cycles of violence. So thank you so much for this.
Absolutely.
Do we have any other questions?
Sandra, I think you've already shared this, but just for folks who might have joined later or listening, how does a survivor get connected with your programs if it's not them entering the jails themselves and you being called in to advocate on their behalf?
We get referrals from the community itself. So, I'll get a phone call and they'll say, "Hey, I have, someone, can you help them out?" Being the crisis case manager, I go out on the weekends, or after hours. These programs, outside in the community, the police station, police officers, I work closely with the DA's office as well. They always come my way. There's always a way that they get referred. And that's when we go out and, just kind of take them as a whole and then guide them where they need to go, what needs to be done in order for them to get through the process. The process when, a survivor or the offender first get arrested, right? The offender gets arrested, the survivor has no idea what to do. Not only are they traumatized already, but by what has happened, but now they have, paperwork being given to them from, all areas, left and right, and they have no idea where to start. So we're there to help them, guide them through the process. A lot of these survivors come as referrals from the DB community itself. So we all help each other in everything that we can do.
I did have a question. Um, I know that your work can be very hard and sombering. Um, what gives you hope?
Oh, that's a question. Um, what gives me hope? Hope is given to me when I see that the program works, when I see that all agencies work together to have a mother reunited with the child and away from harm. I think that, again, working with the organization, the Domestic Violence Consortium, all the people involved in the area of domestic violence work together and make change happen. I think that's really what gives me hope is when I see that it actually works.
Do we have any other questions?
This is a quiet but mighty group. I'm surprised some more things haven't been asked, but I know we have some legal eagles on here.
Hmm. Hi, Mia.
I see Teresa's on here too, as well as Kendall at the DA's office.
Hmm.
I
Well,
know that you said that y having a collaborative other organizations working together gives you hope. Is there anything that we could do more together to help Community Works West to help you in your journey with survivors? And if it's nothing, then that's fine. I just want to bring that up just in case.
No, absolutely. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and you guys are definitely kicking it off, first of the month. And, I've attended that in the past every year since it started. And I have to say that's one of the best places to just get started and meet people and, kind of get on the same page. Like I said, October is a great month to do that. Um, that's really, where it starts, and that's where, what it's all about. It's just getting that connection with different organizations, different people, and working together, really, is where it all starts.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah,
Um, and I did see your email. Definitely, we're sold out this year,
I know.
unfortunately. Yeah, it's so packed already. We're but yeah, we're so excited to like just bring the community together. It's something that needs to be said and needs to be talked about as much as possible, more than just in the month of October.
Hmm.
Um, and as you like experience in your day to day, I mean, you have to go off of your work hours to deal with it. Domestic violence is a 24/7 thing, unfortunately. Um, but as a community, I really hope that like um, the support there, the systems, um, just really can get families through and know that there's hope out there for them. Um, and that resources are available. People are there ready and willing to help. So thank you so much. You're um, an advocate, a fighter for people in the community when they need you the most. Um, being in the system, especially as a victim, like it's so hard to feel hope, and that's I think what you provide for them. So I just want to like thank you um, for the work that you do, and it probably doesn't always come with that. So I hope to, just give that to you sincerely. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's really, it's really all of us together. Um, my team, right? My team is great. I work with them day in and day out. I can make a phone call to someone, one of my team members at 10 o'clock at night that I need something, and they're gonna jump on there and make phone calls to folks to see if they can help and how they can help, right? So our team works together, and the community works together that same way. I know that if I need something and I know Pam has the answer to it, I know that I can call her and she'll give me, what I need. And in fact, I think once I called her and she was getting on a plane, but she did answer her phone. Yeah, so that's what it's all about. All of us coming together and helping each other out.
Thank you. If there are no other questions, take a short pause, but um, I will give you guys back 10 minutes of your time. I know that this can be a daunting or just like a serious conversation. So if you guys all need like a couple minutes, to settle in before you guys get back to your work or whatever you need to do, I do want to grant you that opportunity. Um, Thank you so much, Sandra, for your voice and the work that you do day in and day out. We sincerely appreciate it
Mm.
as a community and for
Thank you
Black Women Rule.
guys for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Sandra. Andrea is always quick to kind of segue. We are going to give you time back, but we want to talk about the work and thank you. And like you said, sincerely applaud you for the work that you all do. Yolanda and Delia and everybody over there is a great team, and you guys contribute so much to community. So thank you again for being here and sharing the programs that you're currently working on. We did want to talk a little bit about what's happening next month because it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Um, Next month's Crucial Conversations, we'll have two of our advisory board members that will be in conversation around surviving the loss of people who have experienced or who were survivors of domestic abuse. We have one person, Aisha Lewis, who had a pretty high profile case with her mom
Mhm.
being murdered by her partner. And then we also will have a public, well, she's a nurse at San Francisco General, Tammy, who, speaking about Tammy Mac Norton, who is a friend of mine. Her sister Nikki is also an advisory board member, and she will be speaking about the loss. It's important that we include survivor stories and think about people who are no longer with us as a result of domestic violence because they leave loved ones behind. And how does that impact them and their children and the rest of their families? And so we are looking forward to that conversation around those we lost. and remembering them with our whole hearts and thinking about ways to help those we lost, their families, because they are surviving that loss due to intimate partner violence. And so we will be talking about that next month here. I believe it's October 15th, if I'm not mistaken, but it's our regular third Thursday of the month, excuse me, Wednesday of the month slot at 12 noon. And so we invite you all to join us for that. And if you have any friends, family, or people that want to join in and hear that conversation, we encourage you to come back. And I'm giving you back 7 minutes of your time, not 10. So thank you all for being here with us. And we look forward to seeing those of you who are registered to join us on October 1st. There's some other great things happening. There's a state building event taking place on October 2nd, where Assemblywoman Stefani will be leading that. I believe it's at 3 p.m. on October 2nd at the State Building here in San Francisco. On October 3rd, there is a conference on commercially sexually exploited children and trafficking. And so that will be taking place. And then we have our lighting of City Hall, which will be taking place on October the 21st, which is with the San Francisco Domestic Violence Consortium. And anyone who is a survivor or works with survivors or advocates for survivors, we invite you to City Hall stairs at 12:30. And I believe the program is going to start at 1 on October 21st. So thank you all for your time. And again, that's 7 minutes. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And thank you again, Sandra, for being with us.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody. And Andrea has put the flyer for next month in the chat box. You are quick. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Take care.